Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2021 and another part of this Newcastle United series where we've played quite a few games since the last episode and we've also been on a really good run of form. Last time out we had beaten Arsenal 1-0 in the league and then we beat Borussia Mönchengladbach 3-1 to win our Champions League group after doing the double over Barcelona, and that has put us into a first knockout round tie against Juventus, which will be in the next episode. But ahead of that, we've played some really good games across all competitions, starting off with a 1-1 draw with Arsenal, Declan Rice with the goal, but then we won it on penalties. We'll just have a look here. You'll see from the penalty shootout we took control through Wilson scoring, everybody taking a blow, but then Xhaka missed one and Almiron did the business with the penalty to make it 5-3 and secure our place in the semi-finals. We then took on Manchester United at home in the league. Manchester United, of course, the reigning champions, and we managed to get a victory in this game. I'm going to see if I can get the highlights function to actually work for the first time in the beta. It's not been working up to now, but I'm hopeful that we can actually get it to function properly. Let's see if we can get the goals to show up. It looks like it might be here. Hayden attacking down the right, put the ball in, Wilson nodded it on, and Edouard, who doesn't score many, got in there ahead of De Gea to make it 1-0. But then United came storming back, Fati across to Pogba, back out to Fati and Lautaro Martinez there. I'm not sure how much of that build-up was intentional, but it meant it was 1-1. Fati then with the ball on the edge of the area, beat the defenders, got inside, and again Lautaro Martinez just goal hanging, but it gets results. In the second half, after a good team talk, the team came out, Fraser put it across, and Edouard at the back stick got a brace. I can't remember the last time Edouard got a brace. And then 73rd minute, Declan Rice in behind, Wilson in on the keeper, got the goal that is customary when he plays in a Newcastle United shirt, and that was a massive victory, but a deserved victory, a 3-1 goal advantage, just sort of replicating the scoreline really, and it was a deserved performance. We then took on Wolves. This ended up in a very frustrating 3-3 draw. We went ahead in the 51st minute. We were 3-0 up on the hour, and then in the last 6 minutes of the game, Chalov, Jimenez and Chalov again. This was one of those games where you just have to shut Football Manager down after it finishes because you're so livid that it happens. Of course it does happen in real life. We saw West Ham do it against Spurs already this season. So it's not unrealistic, it's just extremely frustrating when it happens. Then in the FA Cup third round, a 3-1 routine victory over Aston Villa. Saint-Maximin, Rice and Koopmeiners with the goals. But then a massive performance in the first leg of the EFL Cup semi-final as we managed to beat Manchester United 3-0 this time, shutting them out despite their really strong team. The best thing about this was we were 2-0 up, and it was actually still a reasonably tight game at this point. Fraser on the attack, found Almiron, he beats the defenders, puts it across, and Fraser completing the 1-2 by getting in the box and getting the goal. Szoboszlai then out to Fraser, he beats the fullback, swings it in, and Almiron is there for the goal. Almiron and Fraser deadly in this game. And then when United were pressing us hard, we'd gone defensive. Edouard with the ball over the top, Callum Wilson's pace in behind United in the 92nd minute to make it 3-0 and pretty much sew up this tie for us. So that was a massive victory. We then followed it up with a 5-1 demolition of Crystal Palace. Hat-trick for Wilson, one for Saint-Maximin, one for Curtis Jones. And then we managed to beat Chelsea as well. Alan Saint-Maximin with the only goal away from home against a resurgent Chelsea side. That was a really good performance. And we followed it up with a 4-0 win over Spurs in the Premier League as well. Saint-Maximin, 2 for Wilson, 1 for Patrick Roberts. Again, when you have great performances like that, you're going to slip up, and we did against the bottom club. Fulham, a 0-0 draw. Very frustrating, that one. But then we managed to come back against Leyton Orient. They actually took the lead in the first half, but in the second half, Koopmeiners and Yannick Touré getting the goals to see us through. So today, we have a Manchester double-header. First away from home in the EFL Cup semi-final, second leg. Everton await whoever wins this semi-final. We have a 3-0 advantage. It is a great opportunity to get our first piece of silverware at Newcastle United. And then away from home against Manchester City. If you look at this Premier League table, 3 points in it. We're 3 points behind Arsenal. Man City down in 8th. Chelsea, I said they were resurgent. They've actually fallen away quite a way. And it's become a 4-horse race for the title. If Liverpool win, it remains a 3-point gap at the top. United just behind us. But it's a big match for us to try and keep that pressure, keep marching to the top. You can see Callum Wilson, still the top goal scorer by quite some way. He'll be getting another golden boot. 27 in 22 in the league, but 37 in 32 in all competitions. He's an absolute machine. The beta is not necessarily reflecting the true abilities of Callum Wilson. But today against Manchester United, going to just do the auto pick on this one because we've got a few rotations to make. But you can see Alvarez coming back from injury can play on that right back position. That really adds a lot to the strength of the team. Jamal Lewis suspended for this one, unfortunately. So Conte continues on the left. Ayer and Senesi in the centre. Szoboszlai and Rice in the middle. Fraser and Jones out on the wings. And of course, Wilson and Edouard up top. Now, I would show you any January transfer activity, but the only activity has been the reserve striker Sorensen going out on loan. I don't have a budget, and nobody's come in with any offers. Somebody came in for some Chinese club came in for a £12 million bid on Jamal Lascelles, but he's valued at $20 million and he's a club captain, so I'm not going to disrupt a good season by letting the club captain leave. So that was rejected. But what's amazed me is nobody's come in for Callum Wilson, which it's just extremely odd as he, nearly scores. Rashford having to scramble the ball away off the post there from Christopher Ayer. I'll just zoom in a little bit. Ball comes out to Szoboszlai, and that's Fraser must have been offside because I don't know why he would have given up on that otherwise. But no bids coming in for any of our players, which again maybe reflects the COVID impact that they put into the game this year, that clubs don't have the big money to go and make big signings. It might take a little while before that money settles down a little bit and you can really start to get that cash flow of money coming in and then leveraging it over a 4-year period to get the signings you need. And Alvarez has gone in on a tackle there, and I think VAR is about to give a penalty. The referee's given it, I think, and VAR are checking it, and they have given the penalty. They've agreed with the referee, so it's a penalty to United, a chance for them to come back. Bruno Fernandes takes it, and of course sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. His 9th goal of the season, Bruno Fernandes. Good penalty. It looked like, to me, that looked like they'd put that little visualization of his little skip before he hits the ball. But it's now 1-0. I think, we've been the better team. I'm not particularly worried by going a goal down. If we can score, it will really just tie the game up for us. Abdou Conte with the long throw. Keeper doesn't come. Pogba away though, and Rashford can counter. He's got the pace on our midfielder hunting him down, and he's still going, Marcus Rashford, in the box. And that has gone high and wide, I think. Or no, it's actually a save. Tipped over the top. Corner from Bruno Fernandes, cleared away by Declan Rice, totally alone to head that one away. And Rashford playing as fullback today. Finds Ansu Fati though. Put across and well blocked. Abdou gets the ball away, but we need to be really careful about Lautaro Martinez. We know he can cause damage in that 6-yard box. We've got a free kick cleared away. Szoboszlai picking it up, finding Senesi. Neither of those players necessarily great crossers, but Szoboszlai will happily give it a go. He pulls it back to Declan Rice. McTominay away only as far as Senesi again. Now Abdou Conte trying to go down that left flank. He's found Jones, now Rice. Over to Szoboszlai, over the top for Jones, but De Gea coming out and theatrically diving on that ball. He then launches it forward. Lautaro Martinez in behind for Rashford, and it is saved again by Mainan, who is keeping Rashford out of the game. Bruno Fernandes with the corner, cleared away by Senesi, and we should be able to clear that one up. But 1-0 it remains going in at half time, unless there's another highlight in these last few minutes. It doesn't look like there will be. So 1-0 it is at half time. A little bit frustrating really that we've not created any highlights. United now looking like the better team, and they can compound that, build on it, and start to work towards another goal, because with a second goal it becomes a 1-goal game. We're all very nervous. Abdou Conte with the throw-in, picked up by Lindelof, but Roberts has stolen it fresh off the bench. He finds Szoboszlai, edge of the area, tackled, and now there's a counter-attack. Martial has the pace on the defenders. He's run around them, got in on the keeper, but again, Maynard, that's his 3rd big save. But the team needs to sort it out, really. Bruno Fernandes with the ball in, cleared away at the near post. Fernandez trying to keep the pressure on, swings it in, and it's fortunately too far in front of Lautaro Martinez and he can't get a touch on it. But the team just not performing particularly well here. We're going to have to drop to a cautious approach because they're hitting us on the counter. Szoboszlai with a free kick short to Fraser. Don't see that too often. That's a FIFA free kick. Ball goes out wide and just gives the ball away to Ansu Fati there. He's found Mason Greenwood, who's deadly. He's charging in on the box and it's denied again by Mainan, who better be man of the match if we see this tie out. Even if we lose, he has kept us in this tie up to now. And Bruno Fernandes again has his free kick rejected and he's forced to go all the way back to David De Gea. Launched forward again though, and Alex Telles free out on that left side. Holds the ball up, pulls it back to Bruno. Now Pogba, and a Paul Pogba. That kind of burst into the box with nobody closing you down. You're going to get off an absolute rifle of a shot. And that's what he's done. So it's now 2-0. It's this little, look at all that space in front of him, and of course Mainan's going to be left floundering. There's nothing Mainan can do to stop that, even though he's been absolutely prolific up to now. That's unstoppable really from Paul Pogba. Let's just try and bring some fresh legs on, see what we can do. Keeper just about gets that one away. We don't have a winger that we can bring on is a problem. The squad depth is an issue. Senesi out wide to Fraser. Now Alvarez can play this in behind potentially. He's lost out to Paul Pogba, who's suddenly remembered he's actually a very good player. Roberts with the ball. Now Declan Rice. Roberts. Edouard, little passing play. It's cleared away though. Martial tackled by Ayer, but Bruno Fernandes has a 2-on-1. He's through for a 1-on-1 and Bruno Fernandes gets the goal. And this has been extremely poor by the team. We had a 3-0 advantage going into this game and we've thrown it away. It's just not good enough. The two central defenders at 6s and 7s. Bruno Fernandes just allowed to run through, and that finish always going to end up in the back of the net. But we need to go back to our standard style of play. Alvarez puts the ball in. It comes back to him, it's whipped across, and at the back stick, Patrick Roberts. How's he not finishing that? He is unmarked, nobody around him. It's a tight angle, but you've got to score there. Abdu back to Longstaff. Chance still on. Edouard out to Longstaff. Get a shot off. No. Declan Rice to Wilson. There's a free kick for offside. What a wasted opportunity that is. And it looks like we're probably heading to extra time here. Unless United can complete the turnaround. Fati back to Fernandes. Out wide to Paul Pogba in a good position. Ball goes over Greenwood. And there it is. 4-0. There's not really anything we can do here. Let's go very attacking for the last minute. But this has just been a complete and utter failure of the team from start to finish. Greenwood's header. Mainan had almost just given up on that at that point. I don't know how the team have allowed this to happen. But that's so poor. To just be absolutely rolled over like that. You've got a 3-0 advantage going to Old Trafford. And look at that. Look at that spike up when they scored. Showing that we gave... Like, when that happens, it's because you've given them a almost 100% certainty for a goal. And then look at that. They just kept building and building and building. And the flurry of goals late on. They weren't even great chances. But we just offered nothing the whole game. Absolutely nothing. And unfortunately, we have paid the price. But this is going to be a throw the water bottle experience. Because that was extremely poor by the team. To throw away a game like that, 4-0. Yeah, that's frustrating. That's like that Wolves game when they came back from 3-0 down to 3-3 in the last 6 minutes. So that's really frustrating. But what we have next is a Premier League game. We need to get back on the horse for that match against Manchester City. A really poor game there on the 26th of January. We've got one game until the end of the transfer window. There won't be any business coming in or out, I don't think, because unless a bid comes in, we don't have the money to bring anybody in. And then it just becomes looking towards the end of the Premier League season and our Champions League and FA Cup runs, because we've thrown away an amazing opportunity here. Absolutely thrown it away. But I'll stop complaining now and ruminating over what has happened. We'll have to focus on this Manchester City game away from home and see if we can get a victory. So as you might expect, quite a few changes made to the team for the match against Manchester City after that poor performance Lascelles and Koopmeiners come back into the centre of defence with Hayden coming in at the right back position ahead of Alvarez. Conte keeps his place at left back, but Saint-Maximin and Jones, I think Jones played in the last game, but Saint-Maximin coming back in, the two Longstaff boys coming back in, and Patrick Roberts in for Edouard. Callum Wilson obviously will continue, given the quality of striker that he is. He's always going to have to be in the team, but it's almost a completely new 11. I was so frustrated after that game that we've completely turned the team over. Saint-Maximin trying to cut in, it's come out for Matty Longstaff, doing the long way round here, and then switches the play to Saint-Maximin, and that's just over the top for Malan Saint-Maximin. It was a good effort going for that top corner, but now João Cancelo putting the ball in from a throw-in. De Bruyne over the top, Hayden gets it away, Angelino back at City, puts it across, and Aguero there, denied by Koopmeiners, who managed to get in front of the shot. Corner to City though, De Bruyne to take it, cleared out by Jones. Ruben Dias hunting the loose ball down for City. Under a little bit of pressure at the start of this game, but it's a big match for us. We need the 3 points. Angelino puts it in, takes it down the byline, over the top for Aguero, in behind the defenders again, and Aguero gets the finish. Even though he's in his early to mid 30s now, he's still getting in behind defences and scoring goals, and it's another defensive mistake really. The defenders just not doing their job well enough, and Aguero getting in behind for the finish. I need pacier defenders for this tactic to work, but central defenders with pace are extremely hard to come by, and if you drop to a deeper approach with your defenders, you can't keep that pressure on the attack, so you give up the goal advantage, and this tactic relies on outscoring people, as Curtis Jones proves there, played through by Patrick Roberts. Curtis Jones with the finish, 13 for him on loan from Liverpool, a very good goal, and we're back on level terms. So you kind of have to stick with the tactic, you can't overreact, the tactic will do its job, but it really is a boxing match. It's who's going to win on points really. More chances created, more goals scored, more likely to outscore the opponent, as Isaac's attempted header is blocked and cleared away. Correa onto De Bruyne, now Correa, Aguero spins the defender, back to Correa, and that's blasted over the top, but Maynard was on his knees, he was powerless if that was on target. Throwing from Hayden, Longstaff out to the other Longstaff, Rodrigo back into Isaac, and the defence there, A, giving the ball away, B, not closing the gap through the middle, and C, just being generally useless. That's really poor. I mean, you see here, it's our own throw-in, Longstaff just hoofing it blindly, and then that massive gap in the centre between the two central defenders, they weren't alive to it. Isaac was, and he's gone and scored the goal to make it 2-1 to Manchester City. Koopmeiners now trying to rebuild from the back. Longstaff out to Saint-Maximin, held up by Angelino, who's stolen the ball, and now Isaac beats the defender, charges straight in on goal, and it's luckily right down the middle at Maynard, but we're under a lot of pressure here, and not really creating the kind of chances we need to get back into the game either, so this will be a disappointing defeat if it happens. It'll mean we move 6 points behind Arsenal at top if this follows through, and it looks like it will, because we're just all over the shop. The team have had their confidence blown apart by that United game, and Sterling in behind for Isaac, blocked off by the defender, but Sterling keeps going, finds Isaac again, and once more we clear it away in that 6-yard box. But the team under a lot of trouble. I think they need a little arm around them now. You know, a reminder, it's okay, it's a long season, one game doesn't throw it all out. Maybe throwing the bottle was an overreaction in that match against United, but what's done is done. They disappointed me, I disappointed them. We need to rebuild in the, following this game probably, because I don't think we're going to win it today. Correa on the attack, out to João Cancelo, ball inside, and Aguero. They're missing the target a lot. It leaves an opportunity here for us. If we come out in the second half and put in an actual display that you kind of expect of the team, given how they've been performing this season, we could well come back into this. And Patrick Roberts is in there, and it's gone in. Patrick Roberts, the long throw trick working for us again. The keeper didn't manage to get his hands on it, and Patrick Roberts, who got the assist for the first goal, has scored here. If you look closely, Ederson does actually claim it, but he just sort of drops it, and Roberts is alive to the ball and puts it in for 2-2, and out of nothing we are back in this game. Is there a big comeback on for us? Abdou Conte going down the left flank, plays it into Jones, who cuts inside as he's supposed to do in that position. Out to Longstaff, so Maximan to Wilson. Haven't seen anything from Wilson yet, which is always ominous. Angelino with a tackle, no penalty, and Isaac can counter. He's just got buckets of pace as he charges in on goal, and it's gone in. It's an own goal from Coop Miners, who seemed to get his legs twisted there. It just bounced off him and into the back of the net. That's really, really disappointing. The defence needs a rebuild next season. There's no doubt about that. I mean, the trouble is we're playing people like Ayer and Coop Miners who are principally central midfielders, not central defenders. And you're going to pay the price when you do that. It's like putting Fernandinho in defence. It might be fine when the ball's on the ground, but if the ball goes over the top, he's in trouble. Patrick Roberts, though, trying to save this game for us, filling in for Edouard. Isaac's in behind again, and Maynan there with a very good stop, just getting his shin in front of the ball to direct it out for a corner. And that header from Rodrigo just misses the target. It's Manchester City wasting chances that are keeping us in this game. Fernandinho to João Cancelo. Cancelo trying to run it to the opposite flank. He's found Sterling, who cuts inside, and Maynan loves those saves. We don't often concede from that sort of position, and it's just been deflected out and wide. Correa's ball in, cleared out from the corner. Aguero trying to keep it alive. I don't know what Aguero's doing so far away from the box at a corner, and it's sent all the way back to Edison in goal for Manchester City. De Bruyne puts it in, and it's gone in. Isaac's there. I think the flag might be up here for an offside or a push or something. VAR is going to have a look. I think it's the offside, and that one has been called back for offside, so no goal there, but it remains 3-2. This game's got a lot of highlights in it. A lot of stuff going on. Going to take Jones off now. He's got a yellow card. He's not completely fit. We can maybe put Yannick Touré out there. Hayden into Longstaff. Trying to go around the middle. Edouard not playing up front, and he's giving the ball away. Edouard, come on. Get your head out your ass. What's that about? Sterling putting the ball over the top as a result. But again, this is that United game all over again. The team are just not awake. I don't know what's going on. Abdou Conte trying to bring it forward and get something out of the game, just gives it away to João Cancelo. It's so timid, that approach play. João Cancelo, though, driving to the byline, puts it over, and Isaac off the woodwork. Again, it could have been 7-8 for City today. We've been so poor. Hayden with a throw-in. Cleared out by Angelino. I don't know how this is still a one-goal game, to be fair. We don't really deserve 2 goals. Manchester City deserves 6 or 7. But maybe that can play in our favour, because here's Patrick Roberts. Back to Longstaff. Ball out wide to Yannick Touré. Into Roberts for a hat-trick. And Patrick Roberts, against his former team. Oh no, it's a brace, not a hat-trick. He didn't score the first one. It was 2 goals and an assist, though, here. He was a bold inclusion up front in place of Edouard. And it has paid off against his former team. Look at that finish. That's like Wilson in his prime. And he's made it 3-3 in a game we just do not deserve to be in at all. And can we now push and try and get a victory? We've got a corner. Coop Miners takes it. Wilson arriving, and Callum Wilson puts the cherry on the cake. How have we done this? How on earth have we done this? This is daylight robbery against Manchester City. Coop Miners in. Wilson with the header. Edison, dreadful in goal. 38th goal of the season for Callum Wilson. We are 4-3 up in this game against Manchester City. I don't really understand how, but I'll take it. Patrick Roberts, can we see it out in the last 10 minutes? Abdou Conte about to give the ball away again, I think. No, he's found Yannick Touré. Longstaff to Longstaff. Touré cutting inside, and Yannick Touré makes it 5-3. Even Yannick Touré, playing out on the left wing, is getting involved in this match against Manchester City. And Pep Guardiola, or whoever the Manchester City manager is now, would be tearing out the hair that they don't have on their head. It's 5-3, and that is robbery. 2.6 to 1.1, 21 efforts to 8. I can't believe it's 5-3. I actually feel bad for Manchester City that we're winning this game. We just don't deserve it. João Cancelo to De Bruyne. Longstaff trying to throw himself in at De Bruyne, but Fernandinho with it in defence. Through to Aguero. Isaac into Correa. That's a really nice goal for Manchester City. They built up the play quick first time passing, unlocking the defence and getting the goal at the end of it as well. Look at this. Wonderful, wonderful play, and Correa with the finish at the end of it past Maynard. We've got 5 minutes to see out in this 9-goal game so far. You've got your money today, regardless of who you support. Lascelles to Longstaff, out to Lewis, Toure to Longstaff again. I think there's about to be another goal. Longstaff, ball comes to Lewis, he's giving it away. Ball into Isaac, out wide to Sterling. He's trying to get inside, but Hayden intercepts. Now we can counter. Edouard, forward to Wilson. Longstaff to Roberts. He's on the hat-trick. He's charging in at goal. And he got a little bit too carried away and ahead of himself as the ball goes wide of the post. Maynard here with the goal kick. Out to Lascelles. Given away. Why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? And Correa there with a dreadful effort, summing up Manchester City's finishing today. Which says a lot when they've scored 4 and I'm criticising their finishing. But it is why they're probably going to lose this match. And as you can see, we are going to see this one out. What a victory that is. What a game. There's a match for the ages. It's daylight robbery. Look at that graph. But I'll take it. That kind of makes up for the game against the other Manchester team where we got dumped out and missed out on more silverware. But there we go. 4-point gap over United now. And we are 3 points behind Arsenal at the top, with an opportunity to start to overturn that. We're beating the teams around us. That's the most important thing. A really good performance. Well, actually a really bad performance, but a really good result from the team. And Barcelona are interested in Callum Wilson. Well, if they put a bid in, I'll talk to them. But I think it's very unlikely they're going to pay me enough money to let him go. So next time, if we have a look at the schedule, we are now at the end of the January transfer window. We've got Juventus to come. I am tempted to do the Juve City double-header. The first match is away from home. If we get smashed there, obviously it's a missed opportunity. But if we get through, we're looking at a lot of episodes this season if we don't make a bit of progress and pace. And there's no big Premier League games around it. So I think that we go ahead all the way to this Juve City doubleheader for the next episode. But do drop a like down below if you enjoyed those 2 ridiculous games. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. But until next time, see ya.